Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome to a brand new series here on my channel. This is Sky Factory 3 and I hope you enjoyed the time lapse at the beginning there. I thought I'd get us a bit of a head start on what's going on over here. I'm sure that most of you, if not all of you, have seen a skyblock at least before, so I thought we'd at least stand up here on a tree to begin with. But you can see we have created a huge amount of stuff around us here. So if I come out of this horrible F5 mode and I can show you around what I've already done. And find my ladder down here. And so this is the main floor of the base that I've set up so far. You can see I've got the kind of standard string mesh sieves here, and I've got an iron mesh, stiffened mesh sieve here. Over here I've got, this is a new bit since the time lapse, I've got a kind of a field here of grass. I'm not sure how much grass you need for passive mobs to spawn, but I thought I'd start off with this kind of free either side of infinite pool of water here and see if anything will actually spawn on here, any sheep and cows and pigs and all sorts like that, chickens. They may do, might not do, I may have to extend this out further. I've extended all of this right the way out to the mob farm that you saw me build, and at the moment it is deactivated because I'm building up some of these vector plates. This is very effective, and from the mobs that have dropped in this I've managed to get one slime ball so far from the loot bags. From the loot bags, speaking of those, I've managed to get a fair few things from those which have been really nice to kind of give us a nice head boost and head start within this game. So first of all, the tools. We have got an okay pickaxe for now. We've got an amazing axe, which is good because we're working mainly with wood. So we've got the obsidian axe there. And we have an obsidian shovel as well. So we'll be working with dirt a lot as well. And so there are main three ones. I haven't really got a decent weapon yet. I did have a what was it, a palace block sword from Actually Editions, but that's run out. So it was essentially 280 durability, same as this black quartz one, but in blue instead. But that's run out now, and I've got wooden spikes here, which will drop them down to half a heart. So they will. Some of them will spawn onto here, run along to there, and will end up on half a heart. I'll take these out so that you can see how effective it is. So while I'm going around, we'll be able to see how many mobs are spawning and kind of what happens to them and how I've been actually going and using this thing. I know it's all very bland at the moment. It's a huge celebration of beige, but that is to be expected at this point in a Sky Factory game. I've got a nice kind of staircase up to the top of it here. Nothing really going on at the top, it's just a maintenance thing so that I can actually get into it. Jump down. I started off having a kind of a drawbridge over to another island over there, but I've since extended it all the way out. And so all of these there was kind of one more layer here, but all of this wasn't there. And so the chests at the moment look a little bit odd where they are. But that, again, is to be expected because I've just expanded out. And they will be sorted out as soon as I get myself sorted here, basically. I've got a few machines to build and stuff. By the end of the episode, this will look a lot better. Over in this area, I've just built some corn. I don't exactly know what they do. I've never used them before. So let's try and harvest this stuff, see what it is. So we have corn cob. That is simple corn cob. So this may be able to do something with this. Let's have a look at the uses for it. So I can cut it down into biomass. I can make corn kernels from it. I can turn it into roasted corn. That's pretty decent food, that. Industrial farmer, or fermenter, makes ethanol, alloy smelter, furnace, and culinary generator. So yeah, we need to smelt it down into roasted corn, and that'll be okay. So I'll gather up all of this. see how much we get. Food has been a bit of an issue, and this one doesn't look like it actually managed to grow, so we'll take that one down. I've got these the apples from Pam's Harvest Craft apple trees here, which I think you saw me build in the, or grow in the time lapse at the beginning. And for food, I've essentially just been picking these off the trees. That's all I've really needed to do so far. That will soon change, I am sure. I've managed to get a worm, and I've managed to get 2 more as well of the worms. This little tree farm here has sufficed to get a huge amount of wood from all kinds of different varieties. I've had some dark oak, I've had birch in the past, I've had spruce in there, I've had jungle, and very recently I managed to get I've just been going through wooden shears, collecting all the leaves. You see I've got one last one here, we've been collecting some leaves up. So I'll put these in to here, fill this up. So I've been filling these barrels up with anything that will fit in them, basically, trying to get enough dirt to do what I want with, and to fill up these sieves. I've managed to get a little bit of cobblestone here to make some slabs, so we can build some fireproof stuff. And over here I have a recipe built up already for a cobblestone generator. Now, the reason why I've told you all this and I'm just waffling on for a while now is because I want to do something different with this series than I've done in the past with Hermit Pack and with FTB Beyond. And I want to make this a bit more of a cinematic series than the others. I want to try and play around with my video editing skills a bit more and learn a few new techniques and kind of what works and what doesn't work with Minecraft and with video editing in general. So I'm using this as a bit of a learning curve. I'm using this pack deliberately because it's my pack. Essentially, when I'm playing it, it's mine to do what I want with. I'm not beholden to anyone else. I'm not waiting on lag for anyone else. I'm not worried about logging onto a server or doing anything like that. I can just come on and play whenever I want, and I know that I will be the only person online. I will have the only ping I have to worry about is between my computer and my computer, so it's 0. And yeah, it's going to be a huge amount easier than on any of the other series I've played to actually play around with a lot of the longer time lapses, doing the kind of things I've done at the beginning there. And so later on in the episode there will be another time lapse. And I think I want to do a few time lapses in the beginning to get kind of a feel for what I'm going to be doing. I've got a plan for this series, and it's quite an adventurous plan. I don't know if anybody has seen or read the books of Discworld, Terry Pratchett's Discworld. And if you have, you'll probably know the name Wormspire. If you don't know Terry Pratchett's work, and you haven't heard of Wormspire before, you'll probably understand the concept of it quite easily. It's quite a common theme in a lot of kind of fantasy series, which is an upside down floating island. So you've got an upside down floating mountain basically. So you've got an island which is floating in the sky, and it rises from a peak at the very bottom of it and tapers all the way up to a large kind of rounded off top with a little dome in it. And on that top of that dome, I will try and put a picture up if I remember in post edit. I will try and put a picture up now. There you go. And so you can see within this is Wormspire, and this is essentially what I want to build. Not quite the kind of stuff on the top, but the kind of the waterfalls falling out of it, and just kind of the cragginess of it. I love the design of it, and so this is what I want to build. So you can see I'm going to need a huge amount up stuff, I'm going to need a huge amount of resources, and as we go through this pack we'll be able to build up all of that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this here actually. I'm going to keep this kind of starter deck as exactly what it is, and I'm going to build out a platform, say 200 or 300 blocks out in a direction, probably up north, which is this way. And then I will start it out there somewhere, and I'll mark out where I want it to be. One thing I have done for kind of ease of game purposes really, so I can build on any level that I want. Again, this was partially in the time lapse. I died many times making this, but I've made a sky ladder all the way up to 254 on the Y level up there, and all the way down to 1 down there. I think I died about 8 or 9 times trying to get down to 1 there. I put a water tunnel, well, a water thing down and tried to water vapor down, but missed, and I nearly died again then. That would have been bad. Just top up my health so I can regen. So we'll head back up. There's not much down here at the moment. I've just got this little platform here to remind me that I need to do something down here basically. But this means we can build kind of a super efficient mob spawner down on y=1 here, which will be far more efficient than the one upstairs. And I've just realised I've probably gone out of range of the spawner now, so that may have ended up despawning all the mobs. I know it does despawn if you go right up to the world limit, which won't do, but you can see it at the top. I've got another one of those little platforms like at the bottom, and then down here I've got the kind of the required basement level to the main floor. And so this, when we start getting all the machines in, we'll be putting all the cabling in down here. And I've just remembered I need to change this one out for a slab and put the torch back in. These are the torches for the crucibles, which I'm using for now. Again, this is just the very, very basic starting stuff. It's only a 1 times rate on these. As soon as we get a bit more infrastructure set up, we'll have, I don't know, 8 times rates, 16 times rates, I don't know what it goes up to. So this will be able to put all the cabling in and everything else down here. Maybe some storage, not too sure yet. We'll be able to hide stuff away basically, so we've not got cables trailing along. In one of the loot bags as well I managed to find this rain shield, which is amazing because I hate rain in Minecraft. I absolutely hate it. And now that we've got an infinite water source, we have absolutely no use for rain whatsoever. So, just put whatever scraps of armour I've got on. And this is essentially all I've been doing, just going through the motions of slowly collecting up the dirt and slowly pushing it through the sieves to get enough of these to make cobblestone, and then putting the cobblestone down, hitting it with a hammer to turn it to gravel, and then I think usually at the moment now I'm putting the gravel through the iron stiffened mesh. Well, that didn't give me anything. That's a bad example. So what does that actually give us? So if I go to Civ, go to here and to this one. So you sand through the iron stiffened mesh. It's quite good. It gives us these prosperity shards, yellorium dust, agent spores, and quartz enriched iron dust. And then that's for dust. Where's the gravel? Seem to remember the gravel being pretty good. Yeah, these give you diamonds, lapis, and coal, as well as nickel, lead, iron, and gold. And so that's what I've been doing mainly. I haven't really got much iron at the moment. That is, I've got 1 left in there. But I have been very lucky with some of the loot bags. So I've got a couple of bungee sticks I could put in the mob spawner as well. So anyway, I'm going to gather up a couple of things to show you, and I will be back in a second. One of the first things I want to do to neaten this place up is actually tear down this tree farm. I don't really need it now, I've got plenty of wood, and we can actually start getting into a cobblestone generator, and that's the main thing I've been using this for, is to create cobblestone that we can then turn into gravel and sand and then dust, and then we can sieve them. And so if we've got the first piece of the puzzle, and that is the cobblestone generator, I have this recipe for here. This recipe is for transfer conduits or transfer pipes here from extra utils 2. We have a double chest to put all the output in, and here we have the recipe for the transfer nodes. And so we'll build those up in a bit, but first of all I want to tear all of this down because it's not needed. And I really should actually heal up as well. So let's do that. So first of all I'm going to tear down the trees, like that. So I'm going to leave these to rot naturally, and then I can actually start taking up these dirt, saving them if possible, and then replacing the holes so I don't fall down into the void with the slabs. And so we'll get these. Got that one as well. Excellent. And this one. There we go. And once all of these go, you'll be able to see the difference that's made. It's probably already made a massive difference as well. So now we actually need somewhere to put all this. I want it to be fairly central to this, and I've got my kind of little console area here as well. So what I think I will do is actually, if I take this one back out, underneath here I've got an area to work with. And so if I just build up these recipes here, oh yes, I've got a baconator in a loot bag as well, which is nice. So if I grab all of that, now we can build the first of the cobblestone generators. Missing. Oh, do you need one and the other? Okay, I've got another clay pot here, but I'm going to have to drop this lava and then pick it up with the clay bucket instead, because it doesn't allow you to use a normal bucket of lava and a clay bucket of water in the same recipe. So I'm probably going to burn some of my base here because I've got nowhere to actually place it normally. So if I go quickly, there we go. Hasn't done anything, that's good. So now hopefully this recipe should work. Let's try that again. We go to cobblestone generator. This one, there we go. And that actually broke one of the buckets as well, one of the clay buckets. Oh well. So we now have the cobblestone generator. Now we can get this recipe and this one as well, and the chests, why not? And we can go for transfer pipes. So these ones first, we get 16 of those. And these transfer nodes, we get 4 of those. Oh, I need to smelt this cobblestone. So we'll do that. Any more for any more. None of these have dropped any more saplings. I've only got 2 out of those 2 or 3 trees. So B is done yet. There's 1. And there is 2. Let's come back over here. I've got one there anyway, but now I can make 4 of those transfer pipes. So now I've got everything we need. So if I, for now I suppose, just place down the 1 there. And so this will be the output chest. So then if we go down below, I can work upwards or downward, yeah, upwards from here. So we have the furnace going there. This is the chest. And so if we place... We'll have to do this backwards. So we've placed a transfer node onto there. Pipe or two. And this is going to go there. And I need another transfer one on here. So for now, do I have? Yes, I do. See if this works. I might need to take that one off. Yeah, I need to take this one off. So I place that one onto there and then place this on. That should connect the two. And so now I believe that this is just passive, doesn't need power at all. And so this should now be collecting cobblestone into here when it's only every so often. I'm going to put these into there so that I can see how many I've got. And if I right click on this, then occasionally it will give me one. There you go. So you can see I took it then, but hopefully it'll end up in here. I may need to take it out of this side. I've just realised what's on here. Yeah, so I may need to take it out of the side with the cobblestone on it rather than out of the top. But we'll find that out in time. That's fine if it does. It's just a little bit of reworking. And I'm just going to make this a little bit safer here to work with as well. So bring this out to there, and I think one more to give me a bit more room around it as well. I've been pressing shift like crazy down here, make sure I don't fall off it. And amazingly, with no rails up along the side, I haven't actually fallen off. The only thing I've fallen off so far is this ladder. And I deliberately jumped off the top of there when I got to the top because I forgot to make ladders. Didn't make enough ladders, so I just pillared up and dropped down to my death onto the deck. So I'm going to leave this to go for a bit and see what it's doing. I'll be back with you once I know exactly how to use this thing. Yeah, I was just being silly. You need a transfer node on this end, but none on that end. That is the output, it only needs a pipe going to it. So here you see we have cobblestone coming into it and going out. And up here we already have 2 and a bit stacks. I've put my kind of 17 that I had in as well. So just in a couple of minutes that it's been running, we've already got like two stacks basically. So I'm going to take all of this out of here. And I'm going to take the hammer to it. So I'll come back up here and let's build all of this up. There we go. And I think I will probably run out of hammer on this, so I will need... Actually, no, I will need 2 of these. No, because I've got more in here. We can just take 2 of those out, because I'm going to need some. 1, 2. There we go. Stop faffing. Because I'm going to need to build another hammer. So I will do as much of this as I can now. Takes a while. Oh, that's why, because I'm using my axe. There we go. So that is that hammer broken. So I need some sticks. Do I have sticks? I've got 2. Is that going to be enough? I think it is. So it's those 2 there and 1, 2 there. There's another stone hammer. Will I need another one? Yep. So I'm going to need some more wood. And what I can probably do is just build a load of these actually. So if I take that to there. I can build 32 of them. Excellent. So now we can go all day with these, but I'm going to have to put them into different chests. So if I do those, and all of this lot. And then we can actually start a long, slow process of sieving all of this through the iron stiffened mesh, and hopefully we'll get some diamonds. That's what I'd like to have. By the end of this episode, I would like to have 10 diamonds, I think. It's a good amount to aim for. I think it's possible. We've got 2 stacks of gravel here. It's going to take a while to sieve all of this stuff, so I'll just get on with it. Well, we didn't get any diamonds out of that, I'm afraid. But we did get quite a lot of iron. We've got 31 pieces of iron there. And we got enough gold to make some. We got enough lead to make some lead ingots. And we got enough nickel to make some nickel ingots. We also got a little bit of lapis. And was there anything else? Oh yes, coal. Some coal as well. So with these pieces here that you get from sieving, you put them into a 4x4 or into a 2x2 grid, and they give you nickel or chunks, and then you can use these chunks as you would just normal ore. So I've got enough for 3 gold ingots there, which is nice, and another 7 iron, which is very nice. So I'll come over to our single furnace. Haven't really got very far in the furnace department yet, but we'll smelt the iron first, and I'll just show you this, but it smelts down from a chunk there into an iron ingot, and so that's how you get the ores. And eventually we'll automate all of this. Probably won't get it done this episode now, because this is probably running a little bit long now, and I want to get a short time lapse in at the end as well. So we'll see what we can do about that. So yeah, we've got 2 iron there, we've got another 6 coming, so we've got 8 iron in total. That should give us enough to be able to start doing some things with it, at least. One of the things I might actually do is see if I can get into roots straight away. I'd quite like to start building up some of the stuff in roots so you can get mending for free, essentially. But your weapons and your armour and your tools all regenerate over time, so I might see about that. I'll do roots next episode. Why not? Yeah, I'll do roots next episode. Get into some of the early game rituals and stuff in that. In FTB Beyond, we went through a bit of the roots stuff, but we were already far into the late game with that. We were already at Draconic Evolution stage. And so we didn't really get the main benefit of using roots. So in this I want to kind of capitalise on everything I can. And I think it's going to be a really nice mod to get us all into it. And it's going to be a lot easier than trying to set up a furnace, a smeltery with tinkers and go through all of the lava that you have to go through with tinkers. I think in this mod, or in this mod pack, tinkers is probably a little bit more hassle than it's worth. Getting all the grout and everything, it wastes a huge amount of resources to get those first few grout pieces. Although I have had, just pull out of this, a couple of seared bricks from loot bags. So I'll eventually make up a smeltery just out of these, and then once we've actually got a smeltery built up, then it'll be a lot easier because you can just smelt stone straight into seared stone. So that's a lot easier. So this is the last piece of nickel. There we go. Well, no, this is actually the last piece of nickel, is it? Maybe the next one. You may have seen during, well, you will have seen during that little speeded up bit there, I actually changed this to a heavy oak sieve rather than just a normal sieve, and put the iron stiffened mesh back in it. And this allows you to sieve compressed gravel, well, compressed materials, which is 9 of them within any crafting grid. And so that allows you to do it 9 times faster. Instead of sieving 63 of them, I only sieved 7 and got the same amount of resources from them. So it's a massive help in that respect. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to continue doing for a while, and we'll see. You can see how fast this is coming in now. This is so much faster. I managed to get probably about 2 stacks of cobblestone in all the work I was doing with the farm. And I think, yeah, what I need to do, because I've got this little surprise for the end of the episode, I want to build up a load of slabs. I will put all of these away, and I want to build out this way a bit. Doesn't matter where to, but I want to build a little platform out here, specifically out of stone, that's not burnable, and we'll build it a fair way out. I think we'll just keep going, and not sure how far we are. Let's have a look. A bit further. I don't want to take any chances. I think that should be far enough for now, and we'll build a nice little platform out here. And I'm sure you all know what's happening with this. If you don't, there is a mod in this pack called Chance Cubes, and Chance Cubes, they drop from loot bags, and they can give you some very, very good things, but they can also give you some immensely bad things as well. And one thing I do want to start doing in this series is every episode I want to open at least 1 chance cube and at least 1 legendary loot bag. So there we've got decent enough sized platform, I think, and I can gingerly head back over. Well, no, I'll just run back over, why not? And before you see the time lapse on the way out, I have the first episode's chance cube and the first episode's legendary loot bag. So before we do the chance cube, let's have a look in this legendary loot bag. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, wow. Okay, Man of Steel, amazing. Diamond boots, okay. Not going to really be fighting too much. We don't really need armor in this pack. And then the octatic capacitor as well, which is going to be extremely handy. So I'm going to put these away, and anything which I don't want to get lost. So that's essentially everything, apart from a pickaxe. And we will head back over to the precarious platform out here. This will probably be really anticlimactic now that I've built it up, but we'll place it down and break it. Oh! Run away, run away, run away. Anything? I have no idea what that was. I think that was just the noise, it wasn't actually blowing anything up. Nothing happened? Yeah, anticlimactic one for the first episode. Hopefully that'll be better. Well, it seems as though that didn't go too well. I'll show you what I have done with the mob farm there. It's now got a fair few creatures in it. And this has actually got 9 attack damage on my obsidian axe, so that's actually going to be a really nice weapon to use. Better than anything I can build so far. And so up here you can see, sorry it's very loud up here. Maybe too loud. I might actually see if I can turn that down a little bit. Hostile creatures. Let's put those on 25%. friendly creatures on 100, and yeah, that should do it. Done, and that's again. That's much better. And so you can see some of these down here are on half a hearts where they're next to that, and so I can just go through here. It doesn't have a sweeping effect because it's not a sword, but we can just go through and attack everything until it dies. Remembering the 1.9 combat rules, of course. These bats are really annoying. And then on this side it's exactly the same. There's a load of stuff over here which is on half a heart. And then the witches keep healing themselves back up. But essentially this has been at mob cap. So if we get rid of all of these, we'll see what one haul will get us. And I want to automate this as well. These bats, go away. So one haul got us a rare loot bag, common loot bag, another iron ingot, some redstone, some junk, some rotten flesh can be turned into dirt, Imperium essence for mystical agriculture, and we have two new loot bags. So we'll open these. Oh, excellent, another slime ball. That means I can fill in the rest of these with the vector plates. I might actually just set it up going one way and we'll have the spikes at the end. Maybe in a little hole actually. I'll dig this out, put another barrier on here, and actually create a killing chamber in here. So we'll all spawn along here, get pushed down and into a little pit ready to be killed. And the rare loot bag, 2 more slime balls, amazing, I can expand this farm now, and a saddle, which in this mod pack is utterly useless. I don't know if you can actually get horses to spawn. Even if they did, I probably wouldn't want one, but never mind. Anyway, I will put some of this stuff away, and yeah, now we've done everything, I will see you out with another little time lapse. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.